I wonder if you could reflect on kind of, not just the very beginning of the ministry and kind of the first year or two of assessing where you are and casting vision and assessing culture and establishing yourself, not just as the title pastor, but you become the pastor of the people. Now you're 14 years into this in this one congregation. I remember thinking, um, you know, the first year or two, I was in a lead pastor position, and I thought, can I do this? And then it's how long can I do this is
Right.
the question that comes quickly after that.
Yeah.
And the wisdom that Eddie gave me that I wasn't great at following was pace yourself.
Mm.
He actually gave it to my wife. He told my wife he said, remind
Figured
Chris to
you
pace
had a better
himself.
chance of hearing it if it
Yeah,
came
that's
from
what I was gonna
Millie.
say,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. That's right. So I wonder for you, as you're now, kind of past the sprint of beginning and now you're into the marathon portion of
Yeah,
ministry,
yeah,
how how are you sustaining the
yeah,
work, over the longer period of time, and how is your mindset of your role changing as you're into your 14th, 15th year in a
absolutely.
context?
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful, question. So what I will say is, um, we have experienced rapid growth, right, as a church, and so I've seen the different iterations of growth in this one congregation, right? And with each stage and each level of growth, it has demanded a change in even my leadership, right? And what it is that I'm focusing on, what I need to do. So I'll say when I first came on, I was involved in the weeds. We didn't have as large of a staff as we have. So I was involved in the weeds of just about everything, right? And then as we began to grow, I needed to bring on additional staff members, right? And as we brought on additional staff members, though, my natural inclination was to still be in the weeds with just about everything. And I realized that one is not first, it's not good for the congregation, right? It's the Exodus 18 piece, right? Jethro, Moses. This isn't good for the people, but it's also not good for you either, right? And so I have learned how to better delegate and trust as well that when I do delegate and that people are going to take care of it in a strong way without me necessarily, being as hands-on and in the weeds in it, right? And that requires, like I said, it requires trust. And I will admit, I was just talking about this yesterday or day before, that it does make you uncomfortable initially, right? And it made me uncomfortable. But I know that the growth of the congregation would have been hindered if I did not adapt, right? So the congregation is still able to grow because I don't feel like I have to have everything in my hands and doing everything, right?
And
But
even the hard part of that for me has been through the years. It's not just not in my hand, but not doing it the way that Eddie Rester would have done it,
yep,
the Eddie
that
Rester way.
yes, yes,
Trusting people
yes,
that,
yes.
well, they're gonna do it the way that it needs to be done, that
That's
it
exactly right. Yes,
Christ has called them to do, and it's
absolutely,
not the Eddie Rester way, and that's
absolutely.
okay. And that sometimes is hard.
So what, I use a GPS just about to get everywhere, Waze, right? And what's so fascinating with Waze is that you can take different roads to get to the same place. And it's trusting that people may take different roads, but you will land at the same place. And do not expect them to use your same route to accomplish whatever needs to be accomplished. And that you're absolutely right about that. Yes, that is something that requires growth and maturity as a leader, right? So that's one thing I would say.